can we break this into sections now? History of the genre in South Africa, current state. That's when I'd like to bring League of Doom in, because that's a fairly new development.
Yeah.
So I think starting with it, we'd say, right, Doom metal. Does Doom metal have to be Doom metal, or is Doom itself actually like a genre which is standalone, would you say? Or is Doom and metal, or has it been traditionally like kind of one thing?
Well, it certainly comes from metal background. I think some of the more recent interpretations that you could certainly attribute to being Doom are very unmetal.
I think at the end of the day, it's about an aesthetic, right? And Doom always carries with it this atmosphere of something dreadful, something foreboding. Got a very, like a cult sort of feeling to it in a sense. It's got something macabre and sorrowful and romantic, and those sort of ideas can filter through to not just metal, but in many other forms.
But there's always going to be that undercurrent of heaviness about them. I mean, that's what defines it.
Let's talk about the sort of origins, as best we know. Where did this like genre or subgenre sort of like burst out
his
from?
version and then my version.
Yes.
So, from my understanding and the way I've sort of looked into it, is, as with all things in metal, it starts with Black Sabbath, really.
Paradise Lost, Modern Bride, and Anathema all started that very dark, particularly slow and heavy form of death doom, which is where I kind of think it became an entity unto itself. I mean, we have had this. I mean, he thinks it's all Candlemass and
Yes.
look, I mean, they all started out as traditional fucking metal bands. I mean, guys from Modern Bride were in a band called Silosis or some shit, which is like a thrash death kind of outfit. But they very quickly latched onto something that was a hell of a lot darker and slower and more emotive.
Yes.
Because, you had Bay Area thrash and you had fucking whatever death movement. And it was all about technicality and speed and aggression. And then these guys come along with poetic lyrics,
I think
which was something very new at the time.
Emotive being a key word.
Because look, I mean, it is all about atmosphere, like you said. Just they had this way of interpreting and creating this fucking wallowing sadness that resonates with a lot of people, and they hadn't done so before.
The way I've always distinguished it myself is that I see, very, very much, genres like death metal to be, straight up the descriptions of what people do. It says, I am going to do this, I do this, and I'm going to, bash your brains in, or whatever the hell you want to say. But then when it comes to Doom, it sort of asks the questions of why somebody's doing it. Yes. And it explores the psyche of a person doing something. And normally the image that comes out is something dark.
No, that's exactly it.
When it's looking beyond that physical of somebody doing, it's trying to interpret why.
All metal and all rock has always been about anger and anguish and loss, and the typical sort of day-to-day. But like you said, it takes it a step further with Doom. It explores, without having a bad complexion and a cupcake, the emotion behind that. I mean, what makes someone... How do you react to loss in your life? How do you deal with your anger or whatever?